A car repair mechanic defrauded the world's richest investors to the tune of $1 billion US. Living in a country like America, he did not dare to do this openly. Neither did he run away with a loan, nor he did not look for a bank, but he earned all this money by selling solar panels. His planning was so dangerous that even the world's biggest industrialists got trapped in his trap. But what did he do? Who was that person who, rather investors like Warren Buffett, he also got trapped in his web, and most of all, how did he caught? In California, a 36-year-old Jeff Karpuffer with his wife started a car repairing business, in which both of them used to earn livelihood for their children as mechanics. But after some time, his business came to a standstill, and now it became difficult for him to feed his children. The ghost of wealth was in Jeff's mind, so he used to do something all the time to fulfill his dream, but failure always happened. His fate remained intact. When his financial condition became very thin, he started selling drugs so that he could feed his children. Gradually, he started getting into debt. It became difficult to pay the house rent and other bills. And by selling drugs, he achieved all this. Doing nothing didn't seem like a good option to him. That's why he started trying to find a job. Ultimately, he got the job of a solar panel salesman. He used to hold meetings with people all day long to sell solar panels, and that's why he started listening to people's feedback. After some time, he realized that people are interested in buying solar panels, but they are afraid that their solar panels might be stolen. Jeff Karpuffer could have made a lot of money by eliminating the fear, because now he has got a solid idea. He thought that why not do something so that people's solar panels can be made safe if these panels are fixed on a truck or trailer, and after using them throughout the day, those trucks are passed safely at night. If we go then, this could be a good option. The plan was very good, but there was an issue that Jeff Karpuffer, he did not have the technical knowledge of how to make this plan successful. So he contacted his brother-in-law, who was a mechanic. After some hard work, both of them prepared a mobile solar generator. It was a one-time mill on a frame under which tires were attached and solar panels were fixed on this frame. After using the solar panels, they were locked again. Second life could be crossed in a safe place. Portable diesel generators were also present in the market, and that too was using Jeff Karpuffer energy idea. The market of portable generators was $3 billion US. How to compete in this market, or how to shift people from diesel generators to solar panels. Neither Jeff nor his brother-in-law had any idea, but luck was on their side. Their car repair shop used to have a customer named Watson, who was a software engineer himself. When he came to know about Jeff's invention, he offered him to form a company. The company was named DC Solar, and Watson and his team also joined it, who started handling the marketing department. First of all, it was made available to the general public. Instead of targeting, he thought of doing a bigger job. He first targeted Hollywood, because at that time diesel generators were used on movie sets, which would create a lot of noise, and in this condition DC Solar Company's mobile solar generator would be a good option. His plan was successful, and his solar panels started being used on the sets of many big films. In 2009, a famous American actor and film producer started meeting his businessman and started sharing pictures of these solar panels in public gatherings. Jeff also did not stay without telling about his company, and within no time Jeff joined hands with the world-famous law firm Nixon Peabody. During this, the American Congress passed a law in which the tax credit on the value of investment was tripled, which meant that any business that buys solar panels for itself will get its money back on 30%. That is, if any company makes any investment to buy solar technology, it will be reimbursed to the government on 30%. This was double profit for the solar panel companies. With this, they could save the cost of electricity and also will get 30% from the government along with this explosive offer from the government. Jeff's company DC Solar also brought a new package in the market in which it was said that now no company can buy solar panels from them. You can buy it by paying only 30% as advance, and you can pay the 70% remaining amount in installments. DC Solar's offer was so amazing that no one could refuse it, because suppose there are solar panels worth $100,000, which panels could be booked from DC Solar by paying 30%, and on the same $30,000, the government would return them in the form of cash back. That is, without spending any money, people could install mobile solar panels, and on the remaining 70%, they would get DC Solar in the same installments. This was a win-win situation, due to which DC Solar's network started growing rapidly. In 2011, Jeff was present at the stadium to watch a baseball match when suddenly he got a message that the famous paint company Sherwin-Williams has ordered 192 mobile solar generators. This was Jeff's biggest order, the total amount of which was $29 million. Apart from this, an American bank was working on tax reduction and job creation and was working together with DC Solar. Jeff prepared fake documents, and through fake statistics, he convinced American Bank that the demand for solar generators was very high, due to which he became the first financial partner of DC Solar to convince American Bank. The plan was that in the next few years, he will buy solar generators from DC Solar and lease them to the people, which will reduce the pressure of taxes and electricity bills on the people. Till now, everything was going well, and in this, Intermake also started selling solar generators. They were installed on movie sets, they started having problems, and they would shut down again and again, and this was bound to happen because Jeff and his brother-in-law had prepared them without any knowledge. And the surprising thing is that often the information preparation for the panels of paint company Sherwin-Williams was also going on, but due to slow speed, only the first row panels were ready and the deadline had passed. To cheat, the previous panels were supported only with nuts and bolts, when in reality the back row panels were not working, but Jeff was busy in his debauchery. He even bought a new house and a new car. When people started not getting the orders on time, no company could replace these generators. Jeff was not willing to take a 10-year lease, and without a long-term lease, DC Solar would not have been able to pay returns and lease payments to its old investors. But Jeff and his team came up with another plan. They secretly came up with a new scheme, created that the lease payments of the new buyers would be used to give returns to the old investors, and apart from this, while declaring themselves as a solar company, they were also taking millions of dollars from the government treasury in the form of tax credit, i.e. fake documents, and DC Solar was also taking the tax money of the American people through data. Now it was the turn to make this scheme practical. For this, Jeff was looking for new investors so that money could be taken from the new investors and given to the old ones. By showing fake data, he would show that generators were being sold in large numbers, and for this, he would send generators from one place to another without any reason, so that investors would feel that the demand for generators was very high and there would be some delivery all the time. This is how investors consider this work profitable and get ready to invest in it. By doing such things, Jeff also cheated the shell company and grabbed $76 million from them. In 2014, the IRS Internal Revenue Service tried to investigate the company. So the legal representative of DC Solar convinced the IRS in every way and saved DC Solar. The entire company had become a scammer to deceive the investors. In fact, generator sales were not taking place, and cash was being transferred from the public to the company. It was not coming, but money was being taken from investors continuously. Jeff was looking for big investors. His good luck was that Valley National Bank wanted to buy solar equipment worth $6 million, and they had asked for a list of such companies which could lease, or DC Solar Company was also named in the list that provides solar generators on rent, about which it was written that they rent out their generators at 80%, whereas in reality, this number was only at 5%. Valley National Bank was also a victim of this fraud. Similarly, Jeff Karpuffer has trapped the insurance company Geico in his clutches. This company is a branch of Berkshire Hathaway, whose owner Warren Buffett is included in the list of richest people in the world. But here the question arises that such a big company, Jeff acted very cleverly to find out how the company got deceived. He bribed an employee of America's big telecommunication company T-Mobile and got him to sign a fake document in which it was said that T-Mobile would pay DC Solar for the next 10 years. It is taking 1,000 generators on lease, and when you have companies like T-Mobile in your portfolio, it becomes easier for other companies to trust. Geico also signed a 3-year agreement in which 8,000 generators were to be purchased, and its cost was $1.2 billion. Initially, Geico also benefited because he was saving tax on 30%, means $377 million, but in reality his money was being used to give returns and lease payments to the old investors, whereas at this time Jeff Sayashi was at his peak. He had bought countless villas, more than 100 cars, and a private jet. Now DC Solar's name had reached NASC as well. DC Solar spin ship also started appearing on cars. That is, no one is able to stop Jeff. But now nature started tightening the rope of Jeff. An employee of DC Solar exposed the company, due to which the Securities Exchange Commission and the Federal Bureau of Investigation started investigating the matter, and when it was proved to be a fraud, Jeff was arrested. The investigation carried out revealed that Jeff Karpova was running a Ponzi scheme under the guise of selling generators. That is, he was taking money from new investors and giving it to the old ones, and this type of Ponzi schemes last only for the first few years. But as soon as the new investors start operating, investors come less than the real issue starts. In this condition, the company runs away overnight, or the owners of the company are caught. Jeff Karpova ran the Ponzi scheme. He had made a total of 177,000 solar generators, but only on paper and to the investors. Fake GPS trackers were shown that we have so many solar generators running in the market, while investigation revealed that those GPS trackers were actually not on the generators, but were buried in the ground at different locations. November 9th, 2021, Jeff Karpova was sent to jail for 30 years. Along with this, his wife and 5 more people were also sentenced for being associated with the same scheme.